this week the Tarikoplata. All right, Tarikoplata is going to create the same Kimura or omoplata on my partner here, where his wrist is coming behind his back, just like you're trying to handcuff him yet. Right? When you try to handcuff him, let's say we're handcuffing one hand here, as soon as you get that hand behind the back, then we lift the wrist up towards the back of his neck, which creates the shoulder pressure. This is what a Kimura or an omoplata does, depending on if you're using your arms or your legs. And we're gonna do the same thing here, using our legs and our body, but Daniel is in trouble, so he's gonna grab a hold of his leg because he doesn't want his arm ripped off. Right? So Daniel's being smart, and I'm being smart too. I'm not gonna use force, I'm just gonna keep rotating my body here. So still in half guard, Daniel blocks, my hand comes through, I isolate that arm after getting his elbow in my teeth, float across here, but once I float across, as soon as this foot comes free, Daniel gives me that bump. I still land here, and as I'm ready to isolate this arm, Daniel's hand's pretty close to his midsection and his legs. Remember, if we're in no-gi, Daniel cannot grab his own clothes. Right? He can't grab his shorts, his shirt, anything like that. But he can just take his hand and grab his thigh. And this is a pretty strong grip. I'm not going to be able to break this grip, so I'm not going to fight for it. All I'm going to do is start to army crawl towards Daniel, lift the elbow up and get him onto his side, and then I'm going to sit on his head here. When I sit on his head, my job is not to crush his skull and make him tap because his brains are going to fly out. Right? That's going to be impossible. What I would like to do is pull that wrist back to me, sit up straight, and do the basic Kimura here. But looking at Daniel, he's obviously super strong because he comes to conditioning today. Right? So he must be doing conditioning at home because I can't break this grip at all. So what I'm going to do for this move, I would like to take my leg that Daniel's looking at and put it over his body. And usually if you don't have long legs, you need to do this in 2 steps. 1, just clear his legs, and then 2, go over his hips. If you're blessed with long legs, take a big step because I'm trying to go over his butt here, put my foot to the floor, and then my hand that's weaving through is going to grab my own leg. That's going to free my other hand up to go to the floor here because I'm going to shift my weight to that hand and I take this knee off the mat. And as I do that, I'm just going to rotate my body like I want to look at the back of Daniel's head. And you can see his arm is stuck and he's getting Kimura'd here, or what we call Tarikoplata. All right? Holding my thigh, taking my knee off the mat, rotating back like I want to look at his head, and go nice and slow. Right? So, start here. If I could just pass guard, right? But he blocks me. So I go for the arm. Once I go for the arm, start to get free. As I get free, if I could get free and go right over to side control Kimura, definitely do that. But Daniel's got other plans, so he bumps me. I'd like to isolate the arm, but again, Daniel has other plans. He defends by grabbing his leg. So army crawl forward, get him onto his side, and then sit on his head so that he's stuck here. Right? I'd love to pull this free, but he won't let me. So instead, I step over his body, my foot's on the floor. I grab my own leg, so we're locked up here, and I free up my hand to put it on the floor, and I shift my weight to this hand. That makes it easy for me to now step up and keep rotating. All right, go nice and slow here, because again, Daniel's already caught in a bad position. Last time. I get blocked, weave through, isolate the arm. Get my knee free, I start to float pass, he bumps me, soft little kitty feet here. I get blocked again onto my side. I'd love to take this away, but Daniel is a conditioning beast, so I have to step over, grab my leg. Shift your weight, and then finish Tarikoplata. All right, we got 8 minutes to do this.